Mr. Covey here, and in this video I kind of want to talk about like how you actually do these composition problems, okay? So there's really just two types of problems I need you to be able to do with composition, excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first type. And it should look kind of familiar from the Fiorentino's example thing. Okay, so they're giving us three different equations. F of x equals 2x minus 1, g of x equals 3x, and h of x equals x squared plus 1. This is where like the fact that they're calling them F, G, and H helps a lot because you can decide which one you're talking about. Okay. So what this is asking us to do is, the way to pronounce this is F of G of 2. Okay. The thing to remember about composition, the big thing, write this down on your paper. If you get this, you're going to be good, is you work inside out. Okay, so you do the inside first. So if you look at this, you're like, whoa, I see a 2, but where am I putting the 2? Inside out. So you put the 2 into G. That's what you do first. Okay, you do G of 2. Remember what G of 2 means? It means take your G equation, and instead of writing 3x, write 3 times 2. Okay, so what you get is that G of 2 is 6. That's step 1. Composition thing is a two-step process. So now you've done the inside part. What do you still have to do? You still have to do F. You don't do F of 2. You do F of what you just figured out. That's 6. That's what G of 2 is. So you replace the G of 2 with whatever you got, in this case 6. And now I just do F of 6. Well, what's F of 6? Plug in 6 for x into the F. So again, I plug 6 in for x into the F equation. So I get 2 times, not x, 2 times 6 minus 1, and I get 11. And that's my final answer. Okay, the key is working inside out. Cool? Let's do another one together. F of h of 3. So I'm going to do h of 3 first. So I'm going to take the h. I'm going to plug in 3 for x. 3 squared plus 1, I'm going to get out 10. h of 3 is 10. Now I'm going to step out. Now I'm going to do f, not of 3, but of 10. F of 10, well, I'm going to do 2 times 10 minus 1, and I'm going to get 19, and that's my answer. Why don't you try just a couple of these? Why don't you try 3 and 4? Go ahead and pause and give 3 and 4 a try. Okay, pause and try those. 3 and 4. Okay, so for number 3, you should have done the h of 7 first. That h of 7 was 50. Then you should have taken that 50 and plugged it into G and gotten 150. For 4, you should have plugged 3 into F and gotten out 5. And then plugged 5 into H and gotten out 26. Okay, and we'll practice this, don't worry. Here's a few other practice ones if you want to do them, but I want to show you guys a couple other examples. So this same idea can apply as many times as you want. So if you look at this guy, looks complicated. It's not that bad. F of G of H of 2. F of G of H of 2. Okay, work inside out. This is the key. Work inside out. Go to the inside. What's the innermost part? H of 2. So I'm going to start by doing H of 2. What's H of 2? Plug 2 into H. I'm going to get 2 squared plus 1, so I'm going to get 5. Now, what do I do with that 5? I plug it into G. So you kind of like work out. Work from the inside, then work out one layer. So now I do G of 5. If you guys stay organized, it really helps with this too. So I'm going to take my G, 2x minus 1, and I'm going to do 2 times 5 minus 1. I'm going to get 9. Now, what do I do with that 9? I work it out a little more, and I do F of 9. So I take my F equation. Oh, I did a mistake. Uh-oh. Wait, I made a mistake. Everybody go back. Go back. Even Mr. Covey makes mistakes. When I did G of 5, I grabbed the wrong function. Gotta pay attention, Mr. Covey. You gotta get on your game. G of 5 is 3 times 5 is 15. That was a close one. All right, now I do F of 15. I do 2 times 15 minus 1, and I get 29. And that's my final answer. Okay. Why don't you give number 8 a try, pause, give number 8 a try, and then we'll check that together. Okay, so for number 8, you should then f of 1 first, gotten out 1. Taking out 1, plugged it into g. Again, we're going inside first, then we're going middle. G of 1, gotten out 3, taken that 3 and plugged it into the outermost one, into h, and gotten out 10. 10 is your final answer. Okay, let's do one more of these together. Let's do number 9. Start with the inside, h of negative 3. So I'm going to do negative 3 squared plus 1. Look how I put those parentheses there. Please put those parentheses there. What is negative 3 squared? It's not negative 9. It's positive 9. Plus 1 is 10. Okay. Now I'm going to do f of 10. 2 times 10 minus 1 is 19. And last thing I'm going to do is g of 19. 3 times 19. And I get 57 as my final answer. Okay, work inside out. I'm sorry, guys. Work inside out, and you guys will be totally good with this. Okay. The other type of question, the harder type of question, is something that looks like this. And it looks similar. You're like, oh, it's g of f of x. What's the difference? There's just an x in there, not a number. I'll say that again. There's just an x here, not a number. This is a different type of a problem. Okay, what this is telling you to do is to write a new equation. Okay, so all of these, they don't have numbers in there, so they're not asking you to figure out a number. The answer is not going to be 12. The answer is going to be a new equation. They're asking you to form a new function, form a new equation. How do they want you to form that new equation? Well, by taking the inside and plugging it into the outside. Okay, this is a little bit complicated, but you're going to take your inside equation. So in this case, f of x is our inside. 2x minus 1 is our inside. Okay, I write that down first. We work inside out. So we're going to take 2x minus 1, and we're going to plug that into g of x. So let's look what g of x is. 3x. So I'm going to plug 2x minus 1 into 3x in the place of x. I'll say that again. When I say plug it I mean in the place of x. So here's g of x, which is 3x. Here's f of x, which is 2x minus 1. I'm going to take f, the inside one, and plug it into g, the outside one. So I'm going to take 3x minus 1, and instead of having an x there, I'm going to have 2x minus 1. Okay, it'd be nice if I distributed and simplified that. And that would be my new equation. Okay, again, I'm getting a new equation, not a number. Okay, let's do another couple of these. F of g of x, isn't that the same thing? Oh no, the order is the other way around. So now I'm going to stick g into f. So let's write down g, 3x. Let's write down f, 2x minus 1. And I'm going to stick g in the place of x into f. I'm sticking g into f. Look at this. G is inside of f. So instead of writing 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1, I'm going to write 2g, which is 3x minus 1. Simplify. Oops, don't distribute like that. Bad, Mr. Covey. It's 6x minus 1. So you get different things when you do that composition in different orders. Okay. Once you pause and try and do, actually let's do it together. H of f of x. Okay, so what's h? Excuse me, we'll start with the inside one. What's f of x? 2x minus 1. So let's write that down. What's h? X squared plus 1. Now I'm going to take f and stick it in the place of x into h. So my new equation is not going to be x squared plus 1. It's going to be 2x minus 1 squared plus 1. Look at this. The f is inside the place of x. The x is in the place of x in the h equation. Okay. And it'd be nice to simplify this again. How do you do 2x minus 1 squared? Be careful, we talked about this. You do 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1. And then I got this plus 1 over here. How do you multiply 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1? You FOIL it. You distribute it. 4x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 1. I solve that other plus 1. I'm going to do a little combining like terms. 4x squared minus 4x plus 2. And that would be my final answer. Okay. Why don't you try and give 14 a try real quick? F of h of x. Go ahead, pause, give that a try. Okay, so this one we're taking h of x and we're plugging it into f of x. Okay, so h of x is x squared plus 1. F of x is 2x minus 1. We're taking h and we're sticking it into f. So instead of writing 2x minus 1, we write 2x squared plus 1 minus 1. Don't forget to simplify it by distributing that 2. Do a little combine like terms, and that's our final answer. Okay. We'll do some practice with this on Wednesday, don't worry. I want to show you one other thing. So first, if you could take these two equations, f of x and g of x. F of x is x plus 5, and g of x is x squared. Could you fill out these tables real quick for these by plugging these x values? So if you plug in -1 into x, you get -1 plus 5, you get 4. All right, fill out these tables, both these tables here for f and g. Okay, so then I want to kind of do this problem based on this table instead of looking at the equation. So let's pretend like all we had was this table, these tables, and we wanted to figure out what these things were. Okay, I just want to show you that we can totally just do this from this table. So what's g of 2? Remember, g of 2 just means the x is 2, tell me the y. So go to g. When the x is 2, what's the y? What's the output? Remember, these are just our y's. But it's good to keep track of which one's which. Input of 2 into g, our output is 4. What's f of 4? 9. F of 2? 7. What's g of... I don't want to do that, because it doesn't go on a table. And how would we do this? F of g of 2, the same way we were doing it before, inside out. I just want to use our table to do this. So I'd figure out g of 2 by looking at our table. We actually already figured it out over there, and get out 4. And then we'd have to do f of 4, which we already figured out was 9. Okay. Cool. I just want to say one more final thing. Let's do these two questions, and then we can be done. F of 0, or excuse me, g of f of 0. So I'm going to do f of 0, get out 5 from my table. And then I need to do g of 5, and I get out 25. So f of g of 0 is 25. Let's do, or sorry, g of f of 0 is 25. Okay, let's do f of g of 0. So I'm going to do inside out, so I'll do g of 0 first. G of 0 is 0. And then I need to do f of 0, and I get 5. I just want to emphasize again that the order that you do composition in matters. F of g of 0 is not the same as g of f of 0. So a big idea that you need to know, especially for maybe like a learning check or something like that, would be that the order of composition matters. In other words, if you see f of g of 0 and g of f of 0, they're usually not going to be the same thing. It's possible they could be, but 99% of the time they're going to be different. That concludes this video. Thanks for watching, guys.